So, a VTuber group that I saw since inception got together called Vtards or whatever, and I had a feeling that someone was going to make a video about it eventually because it's on Twitter, and then people put them on lists, and then people want to talk shit about them, and yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. So I decided, yeah, I'm gonna watch this closely, and whenever something comes out on YouTube, I'm gonna take a look at it my goddamn self. So here we are, first video. I just saw apparently came out late 4 hours ago, something like that. So we're gonna take a look at it real quick.
Yes, welcome back to the trough. I hope you aren't that malnourished. I think it's been
I literally was, holy shit. I need the slot right in my veins. Put the slot right in my veins.
around 2 months or something since I last talked about a virtual 3D or 2D female. I say female because male VTubers are essentially, unfortunately, the support characters that have a single digit of screen time at this point, and the conclusion of their character is getting ganked off camera. Once again, you can't name me 5 male VTubers in 10 seconds.
Shit, okay, if I had 10 seconds. Kenji, you're right. I literally can't. Because I don't want to say, like, I can obviously say it myself, but I feel like that would be fucking cheating. But the only person I can think of is Kenji and this dude. Oh, no, hold on. There's Nello. I forgot about Nello. Yeah, it's going to take me more than 10 seconds. So I can, Kenji, or Eclipse, Nello, fucking, Static Tokyo. Yeah, there's another one. And, fuck. This is actually really fucking difficult. Dude, we talked about him. You talked about him a while ago. What the fuck was his name? That Taiga Femboy guy. There you go. Boom. Good, that's 5. Fuck. Oh, damn. Yeah, no, you're right. Fuck this. Fuck it. I'm out. Yeah, couldn't. Yeah, no, can't do it.
Don't worry, I'm not waiting that long. I already know you can't name them. But that's not me
Okay, so we're gonna figure out 10 just so the next time someone asks me that shit, I got 10 on lock already.
discrediting their efforts, but compared to their female counterpart, for one reason or another, probably due to the dual-wielded howitzers most have equipped, that comes with the unfortunate side effect of a primary portion of your viewers testing the amount of friction they can generate from their cocktail sausage, whilst leveling up their one-handed skill, and probably developing some unhealthy parasocial relationship with said VTuber, only to be severely disappointed by the amount of times that one prophecy has come true. But yeah, most of the limelight tends to be on the female VTubers most of the time.
I find it interesting that people are just like, hey, maybe I can fuck her. And it's like, you do realize, no. Like, one of the reasons why they don't show their faces is because of weird niggas like you. Come on now, let's be real here. But, whatever.
However, despite only a short time ago being freshly introduced to this form of media, and initially thinking this would be a fad that quickly died out, before delving into the honor hole of hell and involuntarily being educated in all the eldritch horrors the VTubing community had to offer.
It's crazy because I'm actually an eldritch horror VTuber. I just don't have a camera yet, which is interesting because I have a bass guitar and a whole electronic drum set and a nice PC, and I just got a relatively new to me car. I had my priorities. I wasn't even really... I had it before. I had the camera before, but when I moved, all of a sudden, I went to go pick up the camera, and it split in half. Fuck me.
I quite like VTubers now, even if saying that out loud shares the same feeling as consuming arsenic. I like VTubers and how far they've come from their early conception in the late 2010s. And this medium has been used as a vehicle for so many different unique avenues. You have AI VTubers.
Can you be nice to me again? I liked it better when you were nice to me.
Well, that's a shame because I'm not nice to you anymore. Nobody likes you anyway. Nobody likes you at all.
Fucking clanker.
Fuck it. Damn it, you beat me to it. Also, I love how clankers come in around again as like an actual slur. Now we just need split lips to come back. I don't know what we would call a split lips, but that slur needs to come back.
You have a range of VTubers that express themselves in their own art style and personality.
Whoever left the footprints behind was barefoot. Oh yeah. The prints are large and wide. Oh yeah. Perhaps indicating they were left by a man. Aww.
Your VTubers pushing the technological boundaries and are constantly evolving. And then you have whatever the fuck this is.
Praise.
Wow.
That is the queen Shibidoki. How dare you speak ill of her? She's just as retarded as the rest of us. The only difference is she's a woman, so it's based. When I'm retarded, I'm just retarded.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, guys, maybe there is a purpose to life outside of jorking my penis to Judy Hop's scap. Wow.
I feel like I take back what I said. You were completely valid.
Jesus was right.
Even the French have their own VTuber now, and they play War Thunder. What a double negative. Yes, I was wrong about VTubers initially. They aren't a passing fad. They are certainly here to stay and are only going to grow as the years go on, with more personalities, capabilities, and quite possibly more controversies. As in this year alone, VTubing could not catch a break. It was one discombobulation after another. The VTubing community is going through its own Horus heresy right now in terms of events.
If you don't know about the Horus heresy, you need to catch up on your Warhammer lore. I'm thinking of too many things that start with. You need to step up on your Warhammer lore. Horus heresy was great. Anyway.
You had the whole Cinder situation, Gura graduating due to complications with her agency, which left her fans more upset than, I don't know, being time bomb trolled on COD Zombies, only for her to come back shortly after, and more recently the whole implosion of the VTubing agency Vshoujo. One that was...
So, if we did it like this, 66.66% of the big things that were happening were because of corpomorphous, not a surprise. See, what we need to do is just not have corporations anymore. Because they don't seem to be able to, not be pieces of shit. It's really that simple. I would say. Then again, I'm probably biased because I'm an indie, but whatever.
Previously revered for being one of the best agencies that specialized in VTubing related entertainment with a range of successful talent. But it turns out they were only a few expired NDAs away from the horrible truth of the agency being revealed. From improper management and fund management, especially with money raised for charities, to treating the talent themselves quite poorly, which led to the prompt mass exodus of most of its talent and the ultimate end to Vshoujo, one of the few remaining bastions of the...
Fuck, it's Mythic. Actually, I feel like I've heard of them. Don't know anyone from them. Forgot Hololive existed completely. And then, yeah, Vshoujo. And then, how come whenever we talk about the corporations, we don't talk about Face Connect much? Are they not big enough for that? Whatever. Let's continue.
Corporate VTubing world, and is another reminder that just because something looks highly functional and remarkable on the front, doesn't mean the same thing can be said from behind the scenes. As we've learned a number of times in the VTubing community alone, but this video isn't about Vshoujo or a VTubing agency at all. It is more about a COD Clan-like group of VTubers that seem to have found themselves in...
I'm going to be biased. They're cool and all, but I see them mostly on Twitter. They're pretty based. Obviously all of them are based, but does Warhammer shit. So does Warhammer shit a lot. So gotta fuck with this one the most. And she's dark skinned, like I.
In hot water, from simply the name of the group to the actions of the members, all of which after only formally existing for a few weeks now, and they have most certainly obtained the speedrunning world record for a number of potential career-ending controversies in such a short amount of time. But the one group I wanted to talk about today is the VTubing group Vtubers.
I'm a good little piggy who eats from a trough.
Now that we've gotten here, I feel like I should say this. As much as I like them and I feel like they're interesting people, I personally don't agree with everything they say. I feel like this goes without saying. Now, I'm obviously not here to run defense because they're their own people. They can do that them God himself. I just find it interesting that it's like I finally feel like I was correct. I was like, out of all the VTuber groups that I saw this one, and I'd already been talking to, not really talking, but I had already been seeing what they were doing, and I was just like, someone's gonna make a video about these people, and I don't know who it's gonna be. It's either gonna be him, it's gonna be Static Tokyo. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mugen. Oh fuck, Mugen. Could have went with him. That's 6. Anyway, I feel like I'm at the beginning, the precipice of this shit. I'm just so excited that this is happening, and I wonder what's gonna happen because they're indie. It isn't like they have like a corporation behind them that's like, oh yeah, we're just not gonna work with them anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. So one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to get put on the map, blow up, and then something else is going to happen, and then one of them is going to leave again. Because there's already, from my understanding, there's already been 2 people that have left. Or they're going to get enough hate that the group is just going to disband. One of the two. They seem pretty base, but they're dealing with small potatoes right now. So let's see what happens when they start dealing with bigger potatoes.
Oink, oink, oink. I love my slob.
Now, obviously, naming your
Same, oh
group
God.
Vtards seemingly out of the gate would definitely expose you to some level of backlash. I personally think the word they are insinuating here has been so overused, I'm somewhat desensitized at this point. It just doesn't hold
It
the
should
same
be.
weight it did 10 years ago, at least in my opinion.
It's like that for literally everybody. As someone who's retarded himself, as soon as I saw that, I had to follow because it's like I finally seem to get represented. Something I'm also noticing, I feel like they're not actually, I don't know if I could say it on YouTube, but I'm saying it anyway, retarded. Because you know what I'm saying? They just seem like people that have opinions that they're just not going to back down from, which is perfectly fine as long as they don't go the fucking pirate software version of it, because that just didn't seem to work for him. So, we'll figure out what happens when it happens.
I personally would be more offended if somebody called me a homo habilis, but the word obviously
God.
does have a history to it as well, and people do get offended when it is used. But simply just the name wasn't the
Crazy.
only reason people's heads turned at the sight of this newly formed group. The group officially formed on July 9th, with 5 group members, and within the announcement tweet, they provide a short, basic description of their group, which was a female VTuber group currently comprised of 5 based anime girl VTubers who aren't afraid to speak their mind and go against what is deemed politically correct.
And by that, it's just they're mostly conservative women. That's really all it is. If you were like wondering, I must decipher that they're just conservative. That's just fine. Don't get me wrong. Personally, I don't give a fuck. But some people hate that.
Now, as I've said previously, politics is not my strong point. It's probably one of my lower stats alongside
Negative
cardio,
one.
because fuck cardio, you can probably burn just as much calories weight training, and if not, fuck you anyway, I'm still not using the Stairmaster. But anyway, the definition of being politically correct was lost on me, but I quickly found out it basically meant to avoid being offensive in most ways. The more you know, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Out of the gate, it would appear this group had the goal of being as unapologetic and honest to themselves as possible, but the reason this announcement seemed to turn a lot of heads and cause somewhat of a stir in the VTuber community, to the point where the tweet went viral, but not just because of the name of the group. It was down to some of the participants of the group and their activities. In hindsight, the first tweet was probably a warning. The first, probably most alarming feature of the group is the fact that one of them is a version of Hatsune Miku that self-identifies as a member of a not-so-nice German party during the event of World War II, and I don't know if YouTube lets me say the word, but they are openly a Nazi, and I think at this point they aren't joking about this, and are doing this unironically at this point, at least to my knowledge, unless they're playing the long game of 4D chess.
And I don't know if he is going to say it by the end of the video, but apparently she got banned on Twitter or something like that. Which, I mean, look, if you did something bad, you did something bad. But I mean, it was going to be a matter of time when you just kind of keep going around calling yourself that. People are going to start reporting you and you're going to get banned. That's just how it happens.
Which is a terrible game, and their VTuber avatar is Hatsune Miku dressed in full SS gear and going by the name Nachisu Miku.
Also, something else I find weird, that Nazi Miko's been a thing for a while. Then again, people, Twitter and 4chan, they do mix, but not as much as you think, but that's been a thing on 4chan for the longest, brother.
And sharing most of the rhetoric that one would expect from someone identifying as a Nazi.
Listen up, you filthy Take a Q-tip for once in your goddamn life and clean your fucking ears. And listen up. We gotta send all the niggas back to Africa. Total death. F all you stupid niggas. I want you out of my country.
With many controversial tweets.
Okay, I didn't know that. But then again, I didn't watch it like that. Wow, that's actually kind of eye-opening. And kind of funny a little bit. Just a little bit. I was angry because I see it like this. Brother, if you didn't want us here, you should go back and tell your ancestors not to have brought us here. Sucks to suck, buddy. Now we're here. Eat a dick.
Then some are just straight up posts. I don't know why, but this kind of reminds me of that one Black Templars meme.
German boy, don't join the Black Templars!
Oh mein Gott, der Codex Astartes ist
ein Bunch of Bullscheiße.
She does in fact clarify later on as a Nazi she doesn't agree with killing people, but she does agree with everything else, and Nazi ideology, and clarifies she is not joking. And she also goes on to defend some of our other members, saying she is the only one that believes this line of thinking, and just because she's in a group of people does not mean they fully believe the same thing she does, simply due to association, and that they all believe things differently but can still somewhat coexist together, which I assume is to deter.
I mean, right. It's just what you're thinking is what you're advocating is for is pretty fucking extreme. As a black guy myself, it's a little odd, but I mean, look at the same time, like what you're saying, kind of heinous, kind of fucked up. It's weird, but also at the same time, you haven't hurt anybody, so I can't really do anything about it.
People thinking that,
or at least I'm not going to do anything about it. I got shit to do. I just do not have the time to complain about one person for everybody. But that, again, that's just me.
The other members are Nazis as well, and that they don't believe exactly what she believes, which was sort of proven true a bit later on. But yeah, we got a Nazi VTuber before a VTuber that is just pure foreskin. Wouldn't have imagined it. As said before, this group got a lot of attention overnight, primarily due to the name of the group and one of them being a Nazi, but they were pushed to the forefront of discussion in the VTubing community just from their announcement tweet alone, which may have been their intention from the start, as their group has stated in the past.
Yeah, how you get eyes on you, be controversial.
Stating with this group they intend to push social norms, which they have seemingly succeeded with fresh out of spawn. They received both backlash and some degree of support with an increase in viewership across most of their channels from this, but then again we've only talked about just one member. What about the other people a part of the group? The other members are Kami Kurai, Sure1 Kitsune Nines, and Saturn Senshi.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Sure1. Gone. I forgot what happened, but yeah. So
first you have Kemi, who initially debuted on October 13th, 2023, and is a vampire cat who had some restrictions applied to their Discord account after breaking the rules, which I've personally never seen before. They are seemingly the leader or the founder of Vtards, and as said before, just because they're in a group with Red Miku, it doesn't mean they share the same ideology as they've stated themselves. But once again, as they warned in their first tweet announcing the group, they all mostly do the same thing. Most of them have opinions and controversial takes, with many labeling them transphobic, homophobic, and racist, and have angered one group or another, but that is essentially Vtards, who are probably the most controversial VTubing group as of right now.
They're just like, if you were to take people on Fortron, made them VTubers, and then also had them be women, it'd be these people. So, I mean, for a lot of people, that's a big problem. But for most people like me, I don't give a fuck. Again, as I said earlier, I'm not running defense for them. I just find this fucking hilarious. So far I'm right. I just wonder what's gonna happen next. This is why I gotta follow. This is why you gotta follow. They could, for one person who, doesn't agree with them on everything, you gotta admit this is kind of this is primo slop right here. This is primo slop right here. It needs to go straight into the veins.
If we were ranking them, they would probably be in Grandmaster by now, and they have most certainly achieved their goal of pushing against social norms with the amount of discourse they've caused just in the VTubing space alone. Obviously, the only reason they are seeing so much attention is due to that controversial nature as a group, and without that, with the thousands of VTubers that exist, it would be hard for them to stand out individually, or even as a group. And if they intended this or not, this has put them in the spotlight as of right now, even though they've only existed for around a month, and there's a possibility it's just very successful rage bait, and they might not believe what they preach. But even with this group only existing within a short time frame, it would already see some internal fighting.
Okay, so he's gonna go over it. This is great.
So as said, after only existing at most a week, the group already had their own infighting, which was somewhat confusing to say the least, and led some people to assume the group was already crumbling apart. The conflict mainly centered around Shiro, who is a dog girl VTuber that debuted in July 18th, 2023. Now, the thing with Shiro was she was a bit different from the rest. No, people still thought she was just as controversial as the other members, but apparently they were different in the way where they were the only one that thought the whole Red Miku thing was a little joke, a little whimsical comedy, if you will, and they thought everything Red Miku was doing was satirical at best. Which you would think before joining the group you would confirm such a thing, or at least learn a bit more about the people you are in a group with beforehand. But it seems the group and some of its members may have been just slapped together with duct tape, with some members not fully knowing each other, but that's just my game theory. But Shira no longer wanted to be a part of the group after only a few days from their official debut tweet, but it doesn't end there, because for some reason they continue to talk about the situation when the following probably could have been handled privately, no matter the reputation of the group, and all hell proceeded to break loose, even though it probably already did, once again, Red Miku. But even though Shira could have left things there, said her piece and moved on, she continues by providing screenshots of Discord DMs between her and Miku where they would seem to be having a disagreement which would start a conflict labelled on Twitter as the Red Miku versus Lolicon conflict, where they were discussing an artist that made some really weird images of Anya from Spy X Family, and that's the nicest way of saying it, and Miku had a problem with it, of which Shira disagrees with them, and they remind them that they agree with Nazi ideology, but this is where they draw the line. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why they would leak these DMs except for worrying that they would be used against them later on. But it proceeds to continue with the rest of the group siding with Miku and ultimately Shira leaving, and they uploaded a newer version of their group art without her. And what happens next is basically high school level drama, so prepare yourself. Saturn makes a tweet basically
oh my god, seeing this was actually kind of painful. Not even because I gave really a fuck about everyone having to be together in a group. It was just like, why does none of this had to be public? You gotta just and he's probably gonna say it, but like even at the end of this, after they stopped talking, and they were just like, just because we didn't agree doesn't mean you need to send hate to them. And it's like, I get that, but like, did any of this need to go public? Did you need to say any of this out loud? Well, at least I wouldn't. Whatever. I'm a completely different person, but I do. I do find it interesting. I want to see what this group goes. I want to see how far they go, because I feel like there's a way of doing this, and maybe, just maybe, but we'll see. But maybe this probably wasn't the best way of doing it. At least the whole actual Nazi part. I don't know.
Saying they wish them the best, of which Shira responds. The leader Akami apparently was talking bad about Shira after she left, of which Akami responded by saying, "You did it first." And then Shira attaches a screenshot where Akami is talking about her personal life. After Shira told her own fans not to do anything to the other members start to shit on her as well. And then Akami goes on to talk about how Shira talked badly about her BPD, and I'm fucking done at this point. It's basically like Chinese whispers. The fallout at this point was Shira left. People kind of laughed that the VTuber group was over, of which it wasn't. It's still running to this day, only one person left.
8 days since they posted this, and they're already breaking apart. And then follows it up saying that muting this not as a statement, but for my own mental health. Please remember that behind the screen is a real person just like you. Think about that before you respond to people, which, God, the fucking irony, audacity, I don't even know. But the fact that you say this, think about that before you respond to people. There are real people behind the screen. You, of all people, are saying that.
People found it funny that for a group that was supposed to be so based or controversial would have their feelings hurt by someone talking about their BPD, with people expecting their tolerance to be somewhat higher. But in the current day, things have changed. Red Miku got banned off Twitter as of right now.
Oh,
and just promptly made a new one. Akami was getting a lot of threats, so they protected their account, so you have to follow to see her tweets, which obviously you shouldn't do. You shouldn't fight fire with fire, especially if you disagree with these people in this group. But the group is functioning just as normal. They only lost one person.
Yeah, I was about to say, they were, as I'm looking at this now, they were streaming like fucking yesterday. Kara was streaming yesterday. Were you streaming yesterday? Yeah, Senshi was streaming yesterday too. So, And they were streaming together like a day before that. Yeah, it's nothing really changed. It's just infighting. Also, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting because it was like, oh shit, a new girl group came together, and I saw a comment. I saw like one comment where it was just like, a girl group. Let's see how long this lasts before infighting starts. And I was like, I don't want to think that because it's like, I mean, I get the joke. I see where you're going with that, but I mean, they're based, right? So like, this isn't gonna happen. Like a weekend it happened. I was like, God fucking damn it. Anyway, we're here now, and I find it amazing. Also, I wonder if they're gonna get big enough and they're gonna add other people, and I wonder if they're gonna add male VTubers. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Not for me, because fuck all that. Being a part of a group of people, I don't know about all that. I thought it was interesting at first because I even applied at one point just for the fuck of it because I knew for a fact I'm not getting into this, but I do think it would be kind of funny. I do think it would be kind of funny.
In conclusion, the forming of such a group was going to eventually happen anyway, and you've also had individual VTubers on the same level in the past. VTubing is a vehicle...
Bro, not even in the past, there's people like that right now. And it's like, they get shit on, and then what is it? Their comments are like, it's a bunch of people that are having a fight with the people that are shitting on them. It's like, that's cool and all, but I just have like shit to do. You know what I mean? I was thinking about like if I ever was in a group like this, first off, it'd probably be something named like this because that just sounds amazing. But then just knowing for a fact that I have to be online all the goddamn time to do that. Nah, it's already just thinking about it is mentally exhausting. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm already exhausted at work. And then I have to come home and let's say there's some fucking Twitter freak throw a death threat at me like I'm supposed to give a fuck. Ugh. Look, you don't like what I say. I don't care. But I'm telling you right now, and I said it in the last video. By the way, go ahead and check that out if you want. If you send a death threat my way, I'm just gonna nut in your face. That's just how it is.
Anyone can drive nowadays. It's probably a lot easier to be a VTuber now than it has ever been. There's countless artists out there that will create you a model for extortionate prices and countless pieces of software made to now aid you in VTubing. Whereas around the start, most of this didn't exist, and thanks to this you now have a range of VTubers that without these facts also wouldn't exist, especially in the case of indie VTubers. VTubing has evolved and got so popular to the point where you are going to start seeing things like this, because that is relatively normal when a form of media gets so popular and easily accessible to do it yourself. And gatekeeping this medium won't help either. In regards to VTads, I may be crazy, but they are nowhere near done. I think some people are even requesting to join the group.
Yes,
but they are still going, and who knows, maybe they will change their reputation around.
Unfortunately, you have to be a fucking female.
Around. The other members, I don't know about Red Miku. But yeah, that is just a small topic I wanted to talk about quickly. And if you remember this picture and the music that went along with it, you're old. Also,
I know.
Fuck you, Smuggalana. No matter how many times I counter the claims, the misinformation on the femboy and fairy allegations persist. I hope you stub your toe. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and bye-bye.
Okay, so real quick, what are we thinking? What are we thinking? The next controversy for VTubers will happen. It's 8. Hold on, is that even right? Hold on. Yeah, okay, it is. Hold on. I just looked at it. I was like, hold on. I think I missed my mom's birthday. No, okay. My mom's birthday is in 2 days. I thought it was 2 days ago. Jesus Christ. So it's August, September, December. I'll give it till December. I feel like there's going to be some other controversy with these people by December. And if I had to guess, it would be the quote unquote controversy that's kind of happening now. The fact that they're like, or a group now. I feel like people are going to be upset about that, but it's going to die down within like this month and next month. And then someone somewhere is going to see some tweet. They're not going to like it. It's going to get an inordinate amount of traction. And then people are going to be mad at them again for existing. Either that or Red Miku will say something that'll get everyone pissed off again. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with by December. Something by December. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Y'all have a good one.